A very good evening, folks. I hope everyone's doing well. The contrast of the colour is real green. Just let me fix this light up now. Oh, whoa, that's a bit too much. I'd said I'd pop on tonight, have a chat with you just in regards to that result. Look, could have been worse, could have been better. To draw, it's another point towards getting playoff football from the end of January onwards. Just 2 seconds. I'm just uploading something here, and then we'll have the chats. Haven't been on the podcast in a couple of days. Just haven't been well, folks. So bloody chest infection. Hopefully it shifts over the next couple of days. But look, what can you say? Game of two halves. First half, we were absolutely shocking. Just didn't test Sima Minade enough. That own goal killed Carter's Vickers' confidence for the whole game. I thought he just looked like he was afraid to take the ball on. He was a bit anxious at the end of the day. But look at, we can praise Carter Vickers down to the sun because he's been a remarkable player over 3 years, and I know people will give him a lot of criticism tonight, but no player is perfect. Every player has ups and downs in their career, and he'll bounce back. You know, you could say it feels like I know. Like people might say, "Oh, it's a decent result against a decent team." They only lost 3-0 to Dortmund. They were lucky against Milan. They beat Villa. They beat Strung Graz. But we're playing at home. If you want to make Celtic Park a fortress, you gotta win these games, regardless who the opposition is. You have to give them a run for your money. Um, Look, it's a point forward. I could be talking on the podcast tonight and saying, you know what, that second goal, Carter Vickers, what was he thinking? Trying to get stuck in, went under his legs, Kasper Schmeichel, But lucky that goal stood offside, and it was offside. And at the end of the day, second half, we did put a fight in, and it was a fantastic goal from Days and Maeda. I'm just looking at your comments here, Martin, Anton, Roberts. Yeah, I thought Atate had a stinker as well. To be honest with you, I'm just gonna see, can I put this up here on the screen? I thought he was absolutely shocking at times. His distribution of the ball was poor. Get the ball away 4 times in the game, and they pressed with it. And give the respect to Club Brugge. They were a decent team. But being at Celtic Park, if this was away over in Bruges, I'd be like, that draws a good decent result. But being at home after the way we conducted ourselves against Slavia and Batistrava, against Red Bull, I think we went down a gear tonight. No disrespect to Club Brugge. I just think the international break has did kill Celtic's momentum at times. I know we had a game the weekend and we played well against Hearts, but come on, Hearts are struggling. They're struggling, and we just weren't that at all. I thought Nicholas Kuhn was trying. I thought Maeda was trying. I thought Bernardo played well when he came on. Ingles just, his confidence is drained at the moment, and he's a good professional. He'll get there. Andy Ingles will get there. It's just the midfield just looked a bit all over the shop tonight. They really did look like they were all over the shop. And Trusty was outstanding. Thought Austin Trusty really held Carter Vickers tonight. It was like he was doing all the nitty gritty work for Carter Vickers, getting stuck into them tackles. And you might think I'm overreacting, but I really did think Trusty was good. Um, Greg Taylor was shocking. Greg Taylor, he's trying to take the ball past the player, and he just looked frustrated at times in the game where he was getting the ball, he just wasn't productive with the ball, bringing it attacking wise. Alex Valle was much better when he came on. He just bring a different dynamic to the game on that left hand side. And Kyogo tried, and it just wasn't for Kyogo. But Bruges should be more happy with that draw tonight than we are, coming off the Celtic Park and getting that valuable point. That gives them 6 points as well. Um, yeah, I said in my preview earlier on that Valley should have started over Taylor, but it is what it is. Brendan picks the team. Um, Brendan makes these decisions, and I've always said this on the channel, folks. Greg Taylor's not a European player. All means he's really good domestically, but he's not at that level. And I think Celtic really need to hit the bank in the summer and get a really good left back in. I'm talking about maybe 8 million on a left back. It's a free goal we lost. Yeah, it was a free goal, and look, I feel sorry for Carter Vickers, but at the end of the day, just shows the lack of concentration. Some people might blame Kasper Schmeichel's positioning or Carter Vickers not being fully focused. But what I liked about after the goal was conceded, it was the continuity of the players coming together and trying to lift each other. You know, that's a big thing. I haven't seen something like that in a while. Last time I seen something like that was when it was Ange's first season where Callum McGregor got them in the huddle and tried to push them. Something like that would mean a lot at the end of the season. And look, there's 3 games to go. It's the Champions League. If this was the league, if this was match day 5 of the Champions League in the group stages, and we were on 8 points, we would all be laughing. We would be. So it's a new format. It has benefited us a bit, and we have played against different levels of opposition. And when the draw was done, I said we beat Batistrava. You know, we'll probably be beaten by Dortmund. I didn't expect us to be hammered by Dortmund. I didn't fancy us over in Atalanta, to be honest, which is I didn't even that day. I was dreading it, and then getting that red draw was brilliant. Didn't I had a point in my head against Red Bull, and then I had us on to beat Brugge, Young Boys, and roll Villa off. So it's been good. It's been good. So get the comments in. Get the comments in. Do subscribe to the channel as well. There's 15 people tuning in tonight. My voice is a bit horsey. I just have a chest infection at the moment, folks. So I'm hoping just to get back to swing of things by Friday. So instead of pop on just to elevate my voice. William says, I thought they didn't show up tonight. Second half, we were brilliant. Yeah, we were. You know, we were. There was a hunger there in the second half from a lot of the individuals on the pitch. Some players still looked a bit lost at times. But, you know, we could have tested Sima Minade more. And yet Maeda's goal was an absolute cracker. You know, that finesse shot into the far right corner. And it was a good shot. It was a good goal. But the show must move on. There's no point crying about spilt milk now. The result is the result. It's a point closer to playoff football. I know we would have all wanted the Magic 10 tonight. We were all convinced that we could get the Magic 10, but Club Brugge, they're coming off a 7-0 win the weekend as well. Yes, they are second in the Belgian Pro League. They're behind Genk. Do you think? Good question. Do you think Schmeichel was too far out for the own goal? No, I just think it was the lack of communication, the lack of position from both players. You know, Keelan passed it back, and they had us on the ropes. They were putting pressure on us, and let's be honest, they were. Bruges were a better team in the first half of the game, and they deserve the respect that's due. They were a better team in the first half. In the second half, we just and look at they could have had another goal as well. Kasper Schmeichel pulled off a cracking save in the second half. No one's really talking about that save as well. But the guys have taken to the chin. I know, looking at the post-match reaction from Kasper, and Kasper seemed to be disappointed. I feel disappointed myself. I don't feel. I feel like we've dropped 2 big points tonight. But at the same time, a part of me is arguing, saying, did we deserve anything in the first half of that game? Second half, we were a bit better. But overall, were we a better team on the night? No. We weren't the better team on the night, folks. And that's what kills me saying it. And there's a part of me is like, we're at Celtic Park. You know, they've been doing so well in this campaign. And I feel disappointed we've dropped, 2 big points as well. Kind of arguing with myself. That's how I feel. Kind of arguing with myself tonight, like, should we deserve the victory, or should we not deserve the victory? Let me know in the comments. Or the draw that suited us the best. Let me know in the comments. You probably think I'm bleeding off me trolley. Worst case scenario is we have the last home game. If we win it, we'll qualify. If we get points in the last 2 away games, just to look at. I'm gonna be honest with you, Martin. I can't see Celtic getting a result against Villa. I know Villa might be qualified, but then I'm writing Villa off. Simple as. I know I wrote us off against Atalanta, but I'm writing the whole Villa situation off. Definitely not touching. If we do beat Zagreb, which I'm confident we will beat Zagreb, and I'm confident that we will we can do it. Young Boys won't be an easy one. Regardless the games they played already. It won't be an easy one. You look, it is what it is. I just felt sorry, as I said. It simply goes out to Carter Vickers. We all make errors, you know. I felt like an FA Ambrose moment, to be honest, which is it really did at times, and it just drained his confidence. He just wouldn't take the ball up. Wasn't I think he went twice in the game. He went into the opposition half when he went up for the corner, and he was taking the ball up and he was passing off. And that was in the first half of the game after we conceded. It was hard to watch Carter Vickers. He just looked drained, and what a guy he's been. What a guy. What a rock he's been. You know. Yeah. 20th and Madrid, Zagreb behind us. And okay, the table would change. The table our plan now is for the next 3 games. If we do nick a result in Villa in the final game, happy days. But we gotta take Zagreb with respect and go over there and conduct ourselves to the level we have been this season. Look at 20 games so far in all competitions, 3 draws, 1 defeat, and 16 wins. Things are good. Things are good as being a Celtic fan. Things are good. You know, things are good, and I'm sure Brendan will probably make changes in the game in Zagreb. Like I'd probably play Maeda in Zagreb, to be honest. You know, change it around. I'll play Maeda and play Kuhn. And I thought Kuhn was all right tonight. Just didn't get enough space to chat the test the keeper. You know, no chance. 10. What's this 10? I don't see something about 10. Just let me see. Kuhn was equally responsible for the own goal. Correct, because there was pressure on him and he passed it back. I completely agree with you, Dom. Passed it back to CCV, and then CCV was like, "Oh, I'll pass it back. I'm gonna try get the ball up," and then it is what it is. It was hard to stomach, but that's the joys of football. You're gonna get bizarre own goals. You're gonna get us scoring goals or scoring against the opposition, where the opposition player might put in the back of their own net. It's just the joys of football. Sadly, It's a point gained. It's a point gained. It is a point gained, Marco. But at the same time, you feel a bit disappointed. You feel a bit disappointed because at the end of the day, you might say, "How's it 2 points dropped?" Because we were at home. The style of football we've been playing this season, playing against an opposition that's better than them, which was Red Bull. Why can we not go out and try something similar? Something similar. Same hunger, the same pressing. Yes, every team's different. Every team is tactically different, more organised, maybe more defensive, have different plans, but it is 2 points, 2 big points dropped. I'm sure you're probably going into the game saying, "Oh, what we could do is 3 points tonight, 3 points." But the way we played, some people might say we might got out of jail with that goal, and then that other goal being disallowed. Let me know in the comments. Let me know. I felt that Forrest should have started over Maeda because he didn't have a great game on Saturday. I look at Maeda banged the goal, and Maeda was actually probably one of our best players tonight. I really thought he was good in the first half, trying to get that flank, and then obviously getting the goal. You know, we're all tight to our opinions here tonight, and they're all certainly welcome in. I'll stay on for another 10, 15 minutes. We're still in contention. 3 games to go. You know, could have been a defeat. Could have been. As I said, give respect to Club Brugge. They've done well. They beat Aston Villa. They beat Strungrats. I know people might say, "Oh, Strungrats of Austria. Who are they?" But you know, Big Dom says Bruges are a good side and had a great press and a spot on tactics. So a point was a good result at the end of the day. That's what I'm saying. A part of me is like yes, and the part of me is like I don't want to feel like I come across as being a spoiled fan, a glorified fan, but I feel like we went down a level tonight. That's how I feel. I just feel like from that highs of Red Bull to going down a level, and yes, we scored in the second half. we put pressure on them, and we didn't test the keeper enough, enough. But Kasper saved us. You know, they were offsides. It could have been 2-1 Bruges as well, and we could be moaning more. So yeah, it is a point on the board. That will give us 8 points in 5 games so far in the Champions League. And as I said, if this was the group stages, I know there's obviously more games in this new format, we would be laughing with 8 points. You know, we'd be licking our lips saying, "Oh, we're getting into the knockout stages." It's obviously this new format, the highs and the lows of it. You know. So Anton says they did. They set it up. Second, we won. How did Voldemort win that league? Well, obviously Voldemort was obviously had different stints in different clubs in Belgium, and look at it, hasn't worked out for him over in Rangers. So yeah, they're playing Nice tomorrow away in France, but who cares about Voldemort? You know, Ronnie Doyle was Club Brugge's manager last season as well. So yeah, that's correct, Jerry. I completely agree with you. At times we couldn't string 3 passes together. I just thought that day was very frustrating to watch tonight. I thought Ingles was frustrating to watch at times, and Callum can't do the whole show himself. You know, it's a continuity, it's a team collective, and if players can't turn up and have that hunger and that fire like in previous games, you say, what's going on here? Is the opposition player they're playing against more hungrier? And that's what I felt like tonight. Some of their players were just spot on, you know. They were spot on and they wanted it more. Do you really think since Rodgers came in, Taylor's been good? I think Taylor's been decent in some games. You give me if you want me to answer that question in a kind of a rating 1 to 10, I'd probably give Taylor about 6 out of 10. Does he deserve a new contract? I'd like to see him to keep him around, as in like he's a squad player. He can come in and do a job, kind of like Ralston, you know, in the league. But he's not European material. I've always said that about Greg Taylor. I really believe Celtic should be investing, as I said, maybe 7 million or 6 million in a let back in the summer. I know people have been talking about Kieran Tierney to return and all this malarkey. Kieran Tierney is too injury prone. Love the guy to bits. Done a job at Celtic, but no. Too much injuries there for Kieran Tierney to come back. Yes, he would give everything in a Celtic shirt. He would probably make the team better if he was fully fit. He would have that leadership skills there as well, in the dressing room as well, with Callum and Kasper and AJ and Vickers and players like that. But no, I wouldn't take Tierney back. I as much as I love Tierney, but no, definitely not. I know no one's asked me about Tierney. We're just putting that scenario out there. Maeda had the guys numbered and he ranked high. He just runs his socks off days in Maeda. I know people question his finishing at times, but that was a proper finish tonight. That was a wonderful goal from Dazan. Still support Troop Ticket in. That's it. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. As I said, it's a point on the table. Yes, we all wanted 3 points, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. If your team doesn't put the work in that they're meant to put in, and you know, string passes again in the right way, not give away silly own goals, and test the keeper, would have been a different game, completely different game. But you know, we got out of jail. We got that goal from Dazan, and yeah. Kevin says this Ingles instead of Bernardo because of Rodgers just wants to justify the way over the top price. We have to stop. Bernardo has been on his game. Sorry, just disappeared there. Just 2 seconds. Bernardo has been on his game from the start of the season. We paid 11 million for. My response is I completely understand that you're picking up for Bernardo, and you see Bernardo's been at the club longer, and he's coming into games and he's dictating games, and you've seen it in derbies and stuff. But my response is let Arnie Ingles settle. Yeah, some games he has not been at the level. I agree there, but players need to sell. Don't be thinking about the price tag. I know at times I get frustrated looking at Maeda, and I'm like, it's a 9 million player. At the same time, I'm like, no, he's not a 9 million player. We got fleeced paying 9 million for Adam. People might say that about Arnie Ingles. Did we get fleeced from Wolfsburg playing 11 million? Time will tell. Let him settle. Let him settle, folks. So 42 comments tonight. By the way, I know people are in the comments. There's 19 people tuning in. Just comment below where you're watching from. What part of the world? Is it Glasgow? Is it Belfast? Is it South Africa? Is it America? Let us know in the comments. As I said, I do apologise. My voice sounds like it's all over the place. Chest infection. I'd rather come on, get his reaction. I think a lot of you are kind of in the same boat. He's a bit frustrated. Some of you are just taking on the chin. It's a point. We move on, move forward instead of moving backwards. I can agree with you on that. Yeah, look at, as I always say, you kind of evaluate these players at the end of the season. You know, we're only a third into the season, and Arnie Ingles has scored a few penalties, scored a few goals, this and that. He needs still into jail. You know, I know we only paid 3.5 million for Bernardo. I know we've only paid 1 million for Luke McKeown, and yes, them guys are grafters and stuff like that, but it'll take time. There is potential on him. Brendan's not City. We got a guy here from the Bundesliga that will come good, and I know it's very hard to replace Matt O'Reilly, but now the show goes on. We have a decent midfield there. Just Rio was off it tonight, and Rio's been outstanding as a Celtic player. I still believe Rio will probably leave in the summer. I think he'll end up going somewhere. I know we were linked with the Burnley captain. Is it Brownville, is it? That guy that plays for Burnley? I know other podcasts have been talking about him, but he's also been linked with moves to Italy and Saudi Arabia as well. How's it going, Kaiser? Hope you're doing well. Come and do the drink along with me. Very hard to do one, mate, because I tend not to drink the weekends. I'm back in Dublin, and I don't want to be sitting there at my mum and dad's house trying to do a YouTube live, having a few cans and letting everyone know my business. It's just, nah, it cringes for me. They were things I used to do in lockdowns, but you never know. If it's a midweek game, I might do it one of the days. But I appreciate the invite. You know, never say never. Maybe one day, my governed chap. Maybe one day. Let me see. Martin says Nicholson cost us 5 million by not getting a loan to buy for Klaus from Maeda. I agree with you, Martin. Spot on the money. Completely spot on the money. I know at the time about 70% of the fans were against the whole Maeda move, and I picked up for Maeda. I said, "Oh, give the guy a chance. Yes, his goals to game ratio is not good, but he came up and he helped us win the league. Simple as. And yeah, 9 million is a lot of money, but we have the money in the bank as well. Like, we have the money there." So I was saying on the channel earlier on, I've seen a couple of Celtic channels and Celtic websites talking about Evan Ferguson. Now look, Evan Ferguson is 20 years of age. He's on 30 grand a week. He's in a long-term deal with Brighton. Would you take Evan Ferguson for a 6-month loan? Just a 6-month loan. There's no obligation to buy. Now I know a lot of us want to buy, like we're similar to the whole Eda thing there. I would love to see Evan Ferguson come up. I think he would rip it up. And I don't like this comparison, but I have to do it. I think it'd be a Robbie Keane job. Just get him up for 6 months, let him score the goals, give competition to Kyogo and Eda. Yes, he's tall and he's good at holding the ball up, and yeah, it's a different style of player. But yeah, everyone knows who Evan Ferguson is. The Irish lad that scored 12 goals in the Premier League last season, the first half of the season. He was absolutely unbelievable. Then he got an injury and then he just dipped. This season he's played 11 games and he's only scored 1 goal. So a couple of people that follow me that are Brighton fans that were asking me about Matt O'Reilly before he went down to them, they were giving me the input today about Evan Ferguson. Obviously I'm Irish and I watch him for the national team. I'd love to see him. Why not? 30 grand a week. It's a no-brainer for me. No-brainer. Nothing to lose here. If he's coming in for a 6-month loan, just take the 6-month loan. You know, just have ammunition there, because what happens if, argument's sake, Kyogo gets an injury, a shoulder injury, or Eda's injured and were hoping on days of Maeda. I know people are saying, "Oh, I should be going for 30 or Cummins." I'm sorry, folks. They're young players, but putting that responsibility on their shoulders in a title race, well, I'll probably have the title wrapped up by the end of January anyway. Putting that responsibility in the younger players, it's hard. It's hard. I'd rather put Evan Ferguson in there where he's played in big match 2 games, Europa League games, playing against the likes of Liverpool, Man U, Chelsea, City, and teams like that. I think it's steamroller. Honestly, I think it's steamroller. I know in the past we've got players from on loan from Brighton, and it didn't work out for us, and they were Irish players. And look, that was a difficult season, and I have sympathy for Shane Duffy because the way he was done, it was an absolute nightmare. I think Shane Duffy at times thought he was better than the SPL, and unfortunately Shane went through a lot. Obviously losing his father, COVID, you know, being away from his family. It's a lot to take. But people don't realise at the end of the day what happens behind the scenes as well. And the amount of abuse that Shane received from certain Celtic fans was atrocious, absolutely atrocious. You know, regardless who plays for the club. Like what frustrated me the weekend was there's a post that goes up on Lewis Palmer's Instagram, and he's there watching Honduran football while his club, his employer's playing, and he doesn't have that on. Now, all means, he could have it on his phone, he could have it on a laptop somewhere else, but he had on the big screen the Honduran league game. That just really pissed me off, to be honest. Um, that's we don't need that type of culture at the club. We don't need that identity at the club. If players are not fully invested and not in it, you do question. You say, right, if he's taking this job half string, does he deserve to be at this club? Does he realise he's playing for one of the most supported clubs in the world? Yes, we're not in the greatest league in the world, but the love and affection you get from fans, praised. Does he want that go down that road and be hated by the fans because he's not putting the work in, like, just that type of stuff. Um, Let me see. Our Club Brewers a wealthy club? Yeah, they have a decent wage bill, decent money behind them. Club Brewers. They've been they've been a team that have been in the Champions League a lot over the last decade. So yeah, they've got to UEFA Cup final. They were beaten by Liverpool. They got to a European Cup final. They were beaten by Liverpool in the 80s. So they do have a bit of money behind them, Club Brugge. There's a decent league. Anderlecht, Ghent, Stade Liège, KV Mechelen. There's decent teams in that. Union, SC. Good size, that Belgium league. McCourt, same best. What's this about? McCourt. Martin says, I like either, but we were rinsed for the fee. About 4 million we should have paid. Exactly. And they were playing handball, was Randy. Norwich were. But Evan Ferguson, it would be a thumbs up for me. Not because he's Irish. I just think there's a young player there that we could use for the 6 months, get us the goals that we needed, and then move, and then go out in the window and actually get someone decent in the summer. I don't think Brighton would entertain even an offer. They haven't valued that like 45 million. That's his transfer value. They want to sell him for big money. That's why they gave him a long-term contract halfway through last season, but it just hasn't worked out for him, you know. So yeah, see what happens. But 24 people tuning in. As I said, just tell us where you're tuning in from, what part of the world. No one's saying Glasgow, Belfast, Dublin. Someone asked me whereabouts am I from in Dublin. I'm from Ballymun. Ballymun, but living in Glasgow. So yeah, there's the answer there. Over here in almost 3 years. Love it. Absolutely love it. I wasn't at the game tonight. Tried to get a ticket, but at the same time I wasn't well. So I'm kind of glad I just stayed at home and taking it easy because I'm quite, like as I said, chest infection in bits with it. I was choking for McCown to get on. Bernardo Natate. Look at McCown is going to be a good player for Celtic. He's going to be a good squad player. You know, gets it. He's a Celtic boy. He knows what the crack is. Um, Club Brugge got to the semis of the Conference League last season, losing to Florentina, and then Florentina got beaten by Olympiacos in the final. Brugge are a decent team, folks. Decent team. European pedigree there, as I said. Wasn't it? I knew it was going to be a difficult one tonight, but I did fancy us 2-1. But it is what it is. As for Ronaldo, what about Ronaldo? But yeah. So, folks, I'm gonna leave it there. It was good chatting to you. Keep the faith. It's a point. It could have been a defeat. Could have been down the table a little bit more. But you know what? We're in the playoff slots, and 3 games to go. Zagreb next in Croatia, and hopefully 3 points and another step closer to playoff football by the end of January. But thank you to everyone that tuned into the podcast tonight. Please do subscribe if you want to contribute to the channel and become a member. It's 99 pence. Some Celtic channels are charging £3 a membership. Mine's only 99 pence, and it gets put into trying to get new equipment for the channel, better lighting, better microphone, and kind of that malarkey and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you very much for the support, folks. Really appreciate you tuning in, and I'll speak to you tomorrow sometime. Hail, up the Celts, and roll on Ross County the weekend. Take care.